So did India fail, Sarabjit? That's the question we're asking tonight. Well, joining us on the panel this evening, I've already introduced Mr. Parthasarathy. There's Abhishek Singhvi of the Congress Party, Dr. Chandan Mitra of the BJP, Harsimrat Kaur Badal of the Shiromani Akali Dal. Also joining us is Mr. Dilip Padgaonkar, the consulting editor of the Times of India. Let me ask Dr. Abhishek Singhvi first. How do you respond today to the accusation across the political spectrum, at least from the opposition, and some diplomats, that India's diplomacy really failed on Sarabjit's front, that it was ineffective intervention, it wasn't a priority for India?
I think it would be sad, and I'd adopt the spirit of what Mr. Parthasarathy said, if we were to start nitpicking and finding fault internally. This is an hour of unity. I think people in their hearts know that short of declaring war on Pakistan, there is nothing else which one can do when a sovereign nation like Pakistan decides to be brutal, insensitive and indulge in condemnable acts. I think Pakistan is already suffering from universal international opprobrium on this score. I think Pakistan, at the least, towards the end at least, not now after he was hit, but after so many appeals, ought to have considered at least some form of release or visit to India, certainly after the immediate aftermath of the injury. Now that it has not done so, I think, first of all, India should insist and persist and continue to persist on demanding that the real culprits be brought to book and punished with the most stringent punishment. Second, and I'd go further, and I'm not speaking on behalf of the government, I'm only voicing a concern of the people of India and of the party, that the government should seriously consider, and these are not necessary to be discussed on television, calibrating measures of a sufficient degree to let Pakistan know that this is not going to be business as usual, that this is not on. And thirdly, to present a united front in showing the humanitarian or the lack of humanitarian aspects of the regime in Pakistan. I do believe that statistically and even otherwise, Indian courts, Indian state governments, Indian central government have been much more sensitive and giving in terms of care of Pakistani prisoners here, or even return, repatriation and release. That has been proved time and again on sheer statistics and has been proved in particular by our courts. But Pakistan has not reciprocated, and I think it is time that Pakistan was made to realize that, although I would at the end enter a word of caution, we can take this calibration so far and no further, because ultimately we are dealing with a sovereign nation, and I think we need to have some sense of proportionality for it also. Okay,
so let me take this to Harsimrat Kaur Badal. Mrs. Badal, very emotional reactions, particularly in Punjab today, and I think that is obviously very understandable. But when you hear Dr. Abhishek Singhvi saying that nothing short of declaring, war on Pakistan, there was really nothing much more the government could have done. Do you think there is a point in that somewhere? Because you do know, as you know, of course, well, that this was an issue that was taken up at the highest political level, even between the Prime Minister and President Zardari. What more do you think India could have done?
Nidhi, I'd like to know that in the last couple of months, since in January, Chamal Singh had met with the same fate. After that, in March, Sarabjit had written to his family repeatedly, as well as to his lawyer, saying that he fears for his life and he is not going to survive here unless he is taken out. Now, I think this is absurd talking about declaring war. Forget about declaring war on them. Did we as Indian citizens, or you as Indian media, did you even see the government look like they were doing anything? Considering the seriousness of the issue, we knew that Kasab had been hanged. There could be a reaction. The man is saying there is going to be a reaction. I fear for my life. But was the government seen doing anything? I mean, the least we could have been seen was putting in media pressure, putting in international pressure, sending a delegation over there so that Pakistan knows that there's someone who's watching out for its people. I think this is the total complacency of this government, wherefore, unless you're a VIP, you don't deserve their attention. And these writing letters and talking channels and all these, this demanded serious and strong and concise immediate action if you wanted to save the guy. Now they have pulled out state helicopters and he's getting, he's got the VIPs receiving his dead body. Why could these VIPs not go a little earlier and open some channel talks? So there was the High Commission seen at the hospital attending to him or arranging for some doctors to ensure that once he's been cudgeled to practically left to die, he's getting the best treatment. Was his family seen being given the kind of backup support they should be given there? Now we are giving them a relief of 25 lakhs. Was that, you know, it's a joke. The government did Scott all and they just let him die, knowing very well that he was going to be killed. They let him get killed, and now they are jumping and patting themselves for having gone there to receive the body and to give him 25 lakhs. This is not the way to behave. And if this was done in January, this has been done in May, we have still got hundreds of more prisoners. I think, yes, it is a very sad issue. It's extremely sad, but more importantly, it's a time to introspect and to realize that whatever talks they took, those talks failed. Whatever actions they took, those actions failed. And we have to safeguard the others that are there. We spent crores on their prisoner here. If we talk about the Pakistani prisoners that were kept here, how much did we spend on Kasab? And look at the way these guys are being treated.
I think
and
this
is
a very
a
good
prisoner
point.
who was there to be harmed.
Yes.
He's usually a prisoner who goes in for hanging, is usually kept in isolation, but the other people managed to cudgel him and beat him to death. What were the supervisors doing? Where were the prison authorities? Who had even spoken to
let
them
me take that back to Dr. Singh.
that his life was in danger?
I think you made a
What
very good
channel were
point,
they talking
particularly
about?
on Jameel Singh, that we had a warning in a sense that, you know, when one Indian prisoner died in January, then you had these very high profile hangings in India of Afzal Guru and Ajmal Kasab. Sarabjit wasn't an ordinary prisoner. Do you understand Harsimrat Kaur Badal's point there, Dr. Singhvi, that, you know, perhaps there needed to be more intervention from the Indian side, particularly maybe the warnings should have gone off, the alarm bells should have gone off in January itself?
It's unfortunate but quite understandable how and why the Punjab government is playing politics on the death. It is unfortunate. I think Punjab government has not done any of the things which it is suggesting, even at the state government level. That's one. Factual. So number two, factually, let me point out the errors first and then come to the next second point. Factually, consular access was 24/7. Factually, there was a check as to which hospital, which ward. Factually, their family was given the best support system to be flown over. Factually, between January and now, there have been in every delegation or communication with Pakistan the raising of the Sarabjit issue. All these things are ignored. I would then, in the light of all those things, ask what specific concrete thing would the Punjab government, if it was to be the central government of India, do? Nothing, except that they would not be able to play politics on the death, because they would do the same thing.